It's me.
Oh boy.
I'm the spoiler Pete. Keep an eye out for me in the top left corner tonight. I'm gonna be helping you out with some maybe spoiler thingamajiggers going on with this amazing digital discussion. Alright. Enjoy. Yes, we have thank you, Pete, so much for that. It was so kind of you. We've reached the amazing digital discussion point of the night. This is your first warning. Right now, we're going to be talking about no spoilers, spoiler free. This is the spoiler free section of the video. So if we're all ready for that, are we all ready?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Let's get into the amazing digital discussion. This is kind of the big premiere topic of tonight.
World premiere.
Yes.
So
very excited about this.
So amazing digital. Well, how do I even leave with this? The Amazing Digital Circus, the last act, has released 2 weeks early in theaters. I feel like it's just good to go a bit preamble, even though I think most people know the situation. And I think all of us here went to go see it in the theater. And we're gonna, I think in this kind of spoiler free section, we're gonna talk about just kind of like the experience of like being in like a theater event, like for something like this, and then like kind of general thoughts on it. It is very cool. I think we should leave with like theater experience, because I think it kind of ties into like what I'm about to say here. It's kind of just cool. Something like this got to go to theaters. I know there was a bit of like a back and forth, bit of controversy, maybe some like issues with like it getting to theaters, but I think it was worth it ultimately. I think this was a cool thing to just put in the theater, and I think it's doing very well for itself. It's definitely made back its budget. It's been like huge thing. It's like doing like very well for like box office wise for like a thing like this. And I will say, I think it's cool to do like I don't really participate in fandom culture too much no more. I'm a grown adult. I don't do that much no more.
Yeah.
And I don't really even remotely care about things like Marvel or Star Wars or things or FNAF that would get these big fandom culture releases. So for this got to be kind of my like, I guess like interacting with fandom culture thing. We can all kind of talk about that when we went. So when I went, there was cosplayers there. There were like kind of teenagers there. It was like very much like kind of a very electric, I would say, theater experience. I don't think mine was as crazy as some people's, like in terms of like cosplays and stuff. I saw like a Kinger and like some Pomni plushes, and I thought that was all very, very fun. What about you all though?
I did. Okay, I will admit I was late to the showing I reserved, but only just for the first part mostly. I was still there enough to like hear that there were people like cheering for like the musical section, which was really cute. A lot of people were like cheering, and I did saw like a wreck at the costume, which I thought was really cool. So it was really interesting.
So I went to this screening with my non-binary friend named Soup.
Full name.
And what?
I was just said full name.
Yeah, full name.
Yes. I always have to introduce them like that. Yeah. And I decided to go in. Hold on. I'll send an image of this in a bit. It's gonna make my internet crack out actually. When I send.
I can already hear the crackling.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
I'm back. So I decided to go in. I decided why not? It's a once in a lifetime thing. I'm supporting any animation. I decided to go dressed as Kinger. Because I don't know who, some might know me for a certain like character impressive man, being Kinger. But I know when I was going to the event, man, I was like, Soup could attest to this, like sort of outside of like the theater. I saw like a group of, I'm going to presume like 15 to 16-year-old like teenagers attending the screening, like in a big friend group. I think there's like a couple parents with them there as well. And I remember being several feet away with like a metal bucket on my head, wearing like a big purple robe, and kind of just thinking like, oh, I don't want to go over there. I don't want to. It's like they were like guarding the front entrance basically. And I kind of noticed the grayscale Barfly Pomni sort of noticed that I was dressed as Kinger and sort of pointed to me from a far distance, and I was like, oh my god, oh no, I can't be like this. I can't be here right now. I don't think I want to do this anymore.
And they start chasing you and hitting you with sticks.
Well, I
This
don't know.
happens.
That kind of after the movie.
Well, I'm just, I don't know. I was working myself up over nothing because, it's kind of a thing of like, and this is a very large scale, perhaps raucous fan base. It has kind of a reputation online for being a bit unruly at times.
Yep.
So the fear of all of that was just suddenly on my shoulders. Like, oh, I don't know what I was scared about.
But I thought you would be excited for it. Like we saw the group over there, like all in their like cosplays. It actually looked pretty good. Like there was like a paper mache like Jack's head of some sort that was over there. I was like, Steve, you should like go say hi. Like there's another picture over there. You should go say hi to them. And you were like, no, I don't want to.
I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know. I don't think I've talked to a teenager in like
Oh my god.
in person in like years. So I don't know, like, aside from like, I don't know, like little cousins.
Right.
But like I didn't want to
But like, you didn't have to like hang out with them the whole
I
time. You
know.
just had to say. I was like, just say hi to them.
Listen,
like,
my social awkwardness was kicking in.
Oh.
And for some reason,
Bro.
when I started walking into the theater, like the freaking AMC this AMC app was like glitching out or something. It wasn't letting me pull up the ticket. I was trying to like rush in before the other group was
Oh
coming.
yeah, the whole like they all flooded in like while you were like standing to the side like trying to get the app to work, which I
Yeah.
think the people in front of us were having the same issue. I saw a little bit of that online. Like there was a lot of people that were having trouble with the AMC app like during the premiere. Of
I
the
guess there was
movie.
just so much traffic of like so many
Yeah.
people attending it.
Yeah.
But in the end, it did turn out fine. Like they were really cool. It was like, there was another guy. There was like like a 16-year-old boy dressed as Kinger, and he was kind of like, hey,
Aw.
sup? And I was like, oh, hi. I got a picture with him. His mom was like, oh, can I get a picture of the two Kingers? I was like, oh, okay. And I played it. I
was
played it
sweet.
cool. It was sweet. It was nice. And generally the theater experience was like pretty good. It was pretty packed in there.
Mhm.
Yes.
I didn't go to it wasn't the most like popular showtime. It was one of the ones that they added a little later. So it wasn't like every seat was taken up, but it was like pretty
It
decently
was pretty
filled.
full, yeah.
And people like, they laughed when they were meant to laugh. They kind of reacted appropriately. It was not at the level of like, the Minecraft disaster of
Throwing things.
Right.
yeah. There was no real like chicken jockey type moments.
I
I think
was-
everyone wanted to be there to watch it.
Yeah.
I was a little worried ahead of time because I was sitting next to, admittedly, what I would call maybe an annoying type of person, which is teenage boy who thinks he's a bit funnier than he is. They were pretty chatty
Oh
during the
no,
pre-showing and like
God.
the trailer. I'm like, is this guy gonna be like
Uh-huh.
thinking he's the comedy king throughout the whole movie? No, when the movie started, everyone was silent. There was like one moment somebody like did like I'm gonna say something funny in the middle of the movie, and that was about it. I think it was the same thing. Like I think everyone was there like 'cause they genuinely wanted to watch it. And it was the same thing as me. Like everyone like reacted like I think when the movie wanted to you to react like with a gasp or like
Yeah.
they laughed and they
same.
wanted you to
Right.
laugh like normal theater kind of reactions mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like with my theater experience at least, which by the way, I came decked out. I had planned to do a Jax cosplay. It didn't work out. So I went as Cinema Roll.
You want me to put that on
instead.
screen too?
Yes, please.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what? Just go ahead
Yeah.
and dox me.
On Dash pictures.
Because I thought I looked quite cute. And I wanted to the way I bought a $25 Jax plushie with the intention to just throw it away at the end of the movie. I had such low expectations for that guy. But I went to the Daiso, I put him in a little tube, and
Uh-huh.
I clipped him to my belt, and I was ready to go. Hey everybody, it's me. I just wanted to like say real quick, my theater wasn't actually as crowded as it could be. like it was a very small group, which honestly, it was like I don't know how to explain it. Maybe like a LAN party of
A
people
LAN
just all
party.
sitting together, kind of chilling. Mind you, the theater was full, but it was a very, very small theater. And there were cosplayers. One of the best ones was probably a Kane cosplayer, but there were little Pomnies and little Jaxes. The
Pomni.
craziest one is when I saw these like obviously like TikTok girlies, like they would have bullied me in high school type girls.
Okay.
And they were decked out in jack shit. They were all
Oh.
jaxed out, and
All
I was
jaxed
just like,
out.
I should just end it all and go home, because
No.
this is like crazy. Like they were so like cool girl coded, and they were like holding their little Jax plushes, and they're like, I'm so excited, like and they were like taking pictures and doing little TikToks. I'm like, I
Oh my
want to be
God,
their friend
yeah.
so bad.
I
I,
don't think
We have the same interest. We both like our little fluffy bunny. So, I thought maybe we could get together and just like gnaw on him or something. But no, they were just kind of like, oh, the energy was phenomenal. We all were having a great time. Everyone was laughing and going when they were supposed to. And, oh man, it was just so nice. Hey, relatively quiet. Nobody was saying too much.
yeah.
I was actually impressed. And there were literal teenagers in the theater. That's why I was just like, I cannot believe this. I was actually worried because I'm like, I see like anime movies, sometimes. And you get like one or two people being too loud or trying to be too funny. So that's kind of what I was worried about too.
I was a
where
little
people
worried.
were talking too much.
I've
But
been
nope.
there.
Perfect etiquette. No, barely anybody talked. Barely anybody. But if there was a good moment, they were like, yes, yeah. Like we were cheering all together. It was not out of place. It was perfect screening. Like I had a crazier night the first Mario movie came out. The midnight showing, that was different. Like this was beautiful. Loved every minute of it. I really was worried because I was just like, this is something I usually watch with like by myself or with a friend. So it's like having a room of people. I was a little worried, but now I'm just like, that was probably one of the best theater experiences I've had in a very long time. The energy was phenomenal.
I do need to talk about what other cosplayer I saw at this because this will be important later. There was, and I'm certain, like no older than 4 years old, like a 4-year-old, like no older than 4. They were dressed like Jax, and they were sitting right in front of me. We'll come back to this later.
Yeah. And when you first mentioned this, we were talking a little bit about this in the pre-show. I really wonder, who do you think was the Digital Circus fan in that family? Like, do you think it was one of the parents, or was it the 4-year-old?
I have evidence for who I know who it was, but we'll have to get there when we get there. I had to like actually put a put in this.
Okay.
But yes, no, I had a great theater experience. I got exactly what I wanted, which is I wanted kind of like not a rowdy theater, but I wanted a theater of like teenagers who clearly loved this thing and we're gonna gasp and we're gonna cry and we're like gonna go like yeah, yes, that's kind of exactly what I wanted out of this, honestly. Because I knew it was gonna be like not a quiet theater, like not even like there was no chance ever that was gonna happen like in a thing like this. But I got what I wanted out of it.
This expecting everybody to be shush shush, you are in the wrong fucking theater. This is a come on now, like. I can't imagine anybody complain like, oh, there was a bunch of teenagers in the theater and they were yapping and yelling and doing all this stuff. It's like, what did you expect?
Yeah,
like, come on.
I wanted that a little bit. I'm glad I got like the exact level I wanted out of that.
Right.
So I guess now we can just say, like, on the very surface level, without getting into specific details, what did you think of the amazing Digital Circus, The Last Act?
Oh boy.
I think I'm not going to go because anything I want to say is heavy spoilers. So
heavy spoilers? Not even just
not even slightly, because all I want to talk about is this. All I will say is that I was not expecting the format of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting the whole like hour 30 or something to be the last act. I don't know if this is spoilers. But
no, I mean they've been very
were they clear about that?
They were
okay, so
the movie was episodes 8 and 9, which are the last 2 episodes stitched together, which I think was the right move. I
They-
mean, I think for one, like movies need to be like a certain length
Yeah.
to be theatrically run. And I think also too, I think you kind of need something like episode 8 to start out.
Right.
Like, I think if it just started
Okay.
where the finale starts, like, I don't think it's spoilers to say that it picks up pretty much right where
Yeah.
the previous episode left off. I think that'd be a very weird, kind of
Yeah.
confusing place to start it. Like,
They-
I think it's helpful to have that kind of refresher for people.
Yeah, and I appreciated that, but it's like way I felt though, I wonder because I was looking around just like I wonder if they've all seen this episode though. It kind of felt a little low energy. Though I mean the song is good. So it's not a people
Yeah,
were
I
still
think
excited about it, but I mean like it's like it felt a little low energy. People were kind of getting I could feel they were getting a little antsy, a little anxious.
Mhm.
So I was
it,
just like,
it is.
ooh.
It was
And it was
scary, just-
infectious because I was just like I was also getting a little antsy, a little anxious. So I'm just like,
Mhm.
what are we doing here? Like, come on,
I
wrap
think,
it up. Like,
I think for like the way like a movie plot would flow, I think having having the episode before it was smart. I think it like leads into it very naturally, like how you would like plot like an
Yeah.
actual movie. I would say. I think.
Yeah, that's why it's called the last act. Like, it's
Yeah.
kind of because the last few episodes do really just flow flow
Yeah.
into each other, one after the other.
Hmm.
And I do think it's also justified, because in most normal movie releases, like the actual movie doesn't start until like 30 minutes after the posted showtime. And I did notice that for my screening at least, they did start the actual screening like a little bit earlier than you would for like a traditional like big release.
Mhm.
Like it started like 10 minutes after the posted showtime. So I do think that's kind of like it kind of compensates for that a little bit.
Yes.
That there's less previews. I actually did like being able to see the previous episode on the big screen just because like just the novelty of being in a theater setting with like a huge
Oh, yeah,
sound system and a huge
oh
screen,
yeah.
was really neat to be able to see. Because I really do like how this show is animated, and it was fun, especially seeing the like Kane's big
Song
musical
sequence.
number.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do remember like I might have even thought like when I was watching that actual episode, like how neat it would be to see something like this in kind of like a larger scale setting. Because these are all just like released on YouTube, but they're very like high fidelity, high effort.
Yeah, running the show
Yeah.
is very much like I would say like a little like a theatrical scene. Like it's very much just like a big scene for like a theater event kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a big
It's
song.
good to have something
It's got
different.
like crazy animation. It's like it was like, honest to God, almost like getting like the previous episode was always worth it just to like that kind of sequence on the big screen. Was
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
worked very well.
It's a good energy setter too.
Talking
go
about just like general opinions on it without spoilers though. I think like if you've been watching the show, we've actually kind of tracked pretty much how it's been airing as it's going. You can go back to like early StartCasts, and I definitely talked about not liking like the first episode or two of the show.
Yeah.
You could like there's like recorded footage of me talking about like how much I didn't like. I thought the pilot was weird. I didn't get into it. Like I didn't really like the second episode either. So I guess keep that in mind when I say this. I really loved this. Like I didn't just like like it. I like really loved it. I thought
Mhm.
it was like pretty much. I think the biggest critique I can give it is there's some slight pacing issues. Like it's basically like I'm trying to say it's not spoiling anything. It's formatted like in like two different plots almost. Like it's just like plot one happens and then plot two happens to wrap it up. Is basically
Yeah,
really spoiler
I
way I
see
can say it. And maybe that's kind of an odd. I this may be like a thought like they maybe could have found a different way to format it because it does feel like a thing ends and then another thing just kind of starts. But
I did. There were a couple moments where it felt like, and now the credits are gonna run, but then it kept going, and not
Yeah.
even in a it didn't
Yeah.
like drag. It just did. There were just some things I wasn't expecting them to do.
yeah,
I'd say.
there's maybe another
Yeah.
universe where they could have maybe found a way to have these like happen in a bit more of a flowing state. I actually don't even know how. I'm thinking about it, but maybe they could have figured out a way. Like it I would say the biggest issue this has is pacing. It also, if you're someone who had problems with this series being like kind of characters talk to each other type ass show, that's not going to change here. This is very much a characters talk to each other finale.
I hear this a lot.
Yeah.
I hear this a lot. I don't know why. It doesn't bother me when people say like it's just characters talking to each other show. Maybe it's just me, but I like shows like that. I like character stories and character driven shows. So I never really understood that. But I'm actually with you, right? I didn't care for the pilot originally. I definitely got the like, oh, this is for Tumblr kids.
Yes.
Energy from it. And I originally I was just gonna let it go. I watched it, I was like, okay, that was cute, like haha. But all of a sudden I started getting deeper and deeper into it. So like the finale of it, yeah, it got me. Like I don't like I went from being a true hater to literally buying merch of the purple one over and over again. So it got me. This movie definitely hit.
I think the thing I'm like trying to think of is like it's a lot of times I've noticed as I get older, I'm a bit more of a big picture person. I can like forgive like smaller things I have problems like pacing or like the fact I don't really like the first 2 episodes of like the show that much. If like it kind of like the things that matter that need to matter by the end like pay off in like a satisfying and like emotionally resonant way. And I think that's pretty much what happened here. I think what needed to happen with what the show was trying to say and what it wanted to do with its characters, that the thing that really mattered most of the day, like that stuff all landed like 100%, like more than I could have ever expected it to, I would say.
Yeah, if I were to give my broad thoughts on it, I didn't really like write anything down. I've just been kind of like letting it sit with me, but I thought it was a really satisfying way to end this story.
Yes.
It's very clear. It feels like a very tightly written show in a lot of ways. Maybe like, and a criticism might be like, maybe it's too tightly written. Like, I think a big thing people say is that like, it would have been nice to have more episodes of this show.
Yeah.
I would have liked an episode 10.
I think the one thing I always come to is I think it's maybe a bit of a shame there wasn't really like a Ragatha episode. That's something that always sticks out to me. Because people talk about the show like having characters like talk to each other all the time. It's like maybe a possible critique of it, like the therapy speak thing or what the fuck ever. And I always thought it was weird. Like Ragatha and Pomni's kind of like strained relationship they have a bit throughout this. They kind of talk about it off screen, which always felt a bit weird for me for a show that like likes showing the characters talk to each other about these things. That's like one major critique I have of the show on the whole. Is I wish Ragatha got like an episode, I guess. It's the one thing that always comes to mind.
I mean,
I feel like they felt like her talk with Kinger was there.
Yeah.
My thing with that aspect of the show is like, it's something that I do agree. Like, I think it would have made the show stronger to have like a bit more, just like a couple more episodes. But it's also something that I'm willing to meet it on its level.
Totally.
To where like when they were first writing the show, they had no perception of like just how massively popular it was going to be.
Yes.
Maybe if they had like a crystal ball and they could see like this pilot's going to get like 150 million views and it's going to be like your most lucrative project of all time, maybe they would have said like, okay, let's set aside budget for like an extra few episodes. Like we can afford to do this. But overall I am more glad, even though like I'm sure someone could like really dissect and like do like a rewrite of this show that includes a little bit more, even with like the amount of runtime it has. Like I don't know if I'd say if it's like perfect, but I think it's generally good enough. Good enough sounds like a little underhanded. And I think it's like I'd say it comes off like a really good show. I think there's like a few plot points where you do as a viewer kind of need to do a little extra work to fill in the gaps that maybe it would have been nice to see directly. But I do think the characters are well done enough to where you can understand why they all end up in the ways that they do. Even if you don't directly get to see it, I think it's like there's very little that I think comes out of nowhere that feels like out of character.
No, yeah.
I think there's some things that maybe come abruptly, but generally, like with this finale now, being able to look at this show as a whole, I think I generally like. I think this was like a great finale, and I think it was. I'm able to like really appreciate everything the show did and was trying to do.
I think one of the things I could
And-
say about the
yeah.
finale is that I to some degree I think it's like one of its strengths is I think it makes parts of the show I didn't like before make sense a bit more to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we can
Yeah.
talk
I
about
think that is. Yeah,
there's one thing in particular, and we'll get there when we get there. But it kind of like makes it go like, okay, this thing I didn't quite understand or like get. Okay, no, this like no, this totally makes sense now. This actually was really like smart to do it like this.
I honestly think the whole show has been pretty good at that.
Mhm.
With, you know, the way it introduces its characters at first, like you might not fully get why someone is the way they are,
Yes,
or you might think it's just kind of being like rote or archetypical. But by the end, they give you enough to where this is probably like going to be a fun show. I have rewatched like the previous episodes a lot.
yes,
And I think the fact that there's been so much, like, there's always like a few months of time between each episode allows for that a lot.
Mm.
And I do think the show really holds up, especially kind of on a reanal. Like, you can really analyze a lot about the show, on like a meaningful level.
Yes.
I'd say. Yeah.
I feel like to some degree I don't want to address this too much because some of it pisses me off a little bit. There has been some backlash towards this finale online, and a lot of it I think I've noticed, and I mean this so kindly. It really half of it is, first off, we need to kind of address the elephant. Half of the room is definitely just bigotry. People saw they had the opportunity to like be horrible to a trans woman and they took it, kind of situation.
Yeah.
The other half
Yeah.
I've noticed, and again, I mean this in the most loving way possible. It is a lot of like fandomite teens, who like I think like to watch stuff and theory craft. We kind of see this with
Yeah.
like stuff like Deltarune too. I think a lot of teens watch this and like Gooseworks is like said multiple times. It's like a character show. It's character driven. It's like you're supposed to like get attached to like the characters, like their emotions. Like it's very much it. And she's right. She's 100% right. That is very much what the show's about. But I think a lot of teens were watching this like theory crafting and wanted this to be like a big theories get confirmed kind of ending. But the show I think in my opinion smartly leaves a lot of stuff to the imagination. Like we don't need to know some of the stuff that like they kind of like tease or like imply. Ultimately it doesn't matter because like the thing that matters in the show is like Pomni Jax, Ragatha Kinger, and all their dang friends. That's kind of like emotionally what the show is about at the end of the day. And I think this finale is very much in line with that. That is what the show was always about.
Right.
I
Which
honestly,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it feels like the 7th episode, the one with like kind of the fake adventure
Yeah.
thing, like the fake out. I think that was kind of their episode to kind of clarify, what the real focus of the show was, because that was an episode that really leaned into like the theory side
Yes.
of things. Something that really was like playing into like, here's all the stuff people are theorizing about. And like we're gonna have these like payoffs to all this, and then it did like the rug pull there.
Mhm.
So I think that was kind of the moment where it's like, okay, no, that's not really the point of all this, and the finale follows through on that. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, with the theory crafting part, I kind of have a soft spot for all that because it's like there are some like pieces of media where theory crafting is part of the fun of it. Like, for instance, Deltarune, FNAF, all those other things. But yeah, unfortunately, that did alter some kids' brains, and like they
Right.
can't accept that sometimes things are there, but like it's not like they're hiding in the background. It's more like they're breadcrumbs for you to follow to get to the point.
Yeah.
And I usually get people online who are either theory crafting like that, at least they're thinking. But there's also some people who are just like, oh, why did this happen? Why did that happen? I don't get it. And it's like, but there are more episodes planned. Do you think that maybe they'll address that in the next episode? Like, there's just impatience with
It's like
a lot of that's what I've been seeing, where people are just
Yeah.
like, I don't get why that happened at all. It's like, good
Like,
thing there's
I-
another episode to explain it.
like I remember I like a scene in Delta where people are like, aha, we have all the piece the theory that will solve all of Delta is like, no, it's not. It's like
no.
people are like trying to get conclusions so soon when reality
Yeah.
is like, you're here for the ride, just take a breather and take it easy. It's
Yeah, it's
okay.
just like let Toby cook, let Gooseworks cook, let creators cook. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, keeping it a buck, creators most of the time have a plan. Scott Cawthon did not. We were all making shit up back then, all right? So don't even worry about that. If you were theory crafting with those games, go ahead. Go ahead, because he didn't know what he was doing either.
I think so lovingly. I think a lot of teenagers truly think everyone makes their things like Scott Cawthon.
Exactly. And again, lovingly, with all the love in your heart and my heart.
Yeah.
It's like those kind of like lore in the background things. No, sometimes people are just trying to tell a story and they are doing it in their way. If you guess the ending, that's fine, but it's like they're still going to tell the story.
A lot of
the
the lore in quotation marks of the show, I think, are very much just so the show like setting, like why the setting exists,
Yes.
and like why, like often like the lore quote unquote is to get characters from place to like place, like to ultimately see like how when they get there how they'll like react to that. And I think it's like it's not that show shouldn't like have world building or lore, because this show definitely does. It's just like the world building and lore exists to get the characters to where they need to be, more than like
from point A to point B.
More than the reverse, I would say.
Point B to point A. Like it's like everything's in the foreground. You just have to follow along. It's like reading a book, which unfortunately, all the love in my heart, some of these kids aren't reading. So it's like it's you have to follow along with the story. Like if you come to a realization, you can have that and be like, oh wow, yeah, I saw that a while ago. It's because Gooseworks put that there for you to find. I'm glad you found it. Like it's just follow along. I understand that lore, like finding the hidden lore and stuff like that has become super popular. Actually, it's been super popular for a very long time. But we got to come back to just enjoying what we're reading and going along with the story and cliffhangers. Oh my goodness, what's going to happen next? That kind of thing. Let's go back to that. Let's all calm down and let's, get there.
Like JoJo Friday used to mean something, and it was because of those cliffhangers.
JoJo Friday.
JoJo Friday did actually no, but that's true.
JoJo Circus,
and now we don't have that anymore because of like fucking Netflix.
Netflix.
No, this is not a joke. No, seriously.
No, I know about it. Yeah.
Thing,
I read about this.
That basically ruined everything
with JoJo.
Like it really did.
Go on.
I was just gonna. You can go, actually, Ryan.
No, I was like moving to say, like, kind of transition us to like the next section. But if you have one more thing you want to say to this.
Yeah, I guess I think I was just gonna say, like, kind of wrapping up my general thoughts of this finale. I feel a sense of relief that like this story gets to be kind of this finished, like clarified set. Like this is the story, and here is the story in all of its totality. Now that we have this finale, and I guess I'm kind of something I've been thinking about, like in the time since I watched it, is what the legacy of this show is going to be in the long run. Just because I feel like right now, like during this period of like having it currently airing, being in kind of the chaos of it, I think the show has garnered. I feel like this has been felt a lot lately, like it's got kind of a reputation to it. I think just because of a lot of the fan culture.
It's very Steven Universe with it, I would say.
Yeah. And something I'll say, maybe this is sacrilege to say right now. Maybe some people can't imagine the kind of future I'm envisioning right now, but I would love for the Digital Circus to have a similar legacy that Undertale has, like right now, but like 10 years from now. Because I feel like I'm sensing similar parallels.
No, you're completely right. You're completely right. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
When Undertale, and people are gonna like, I'm sure some people are gonna be dog on me for this, like, because thinking I'm not like comparing like them, like on a quality level necessarily, but I'm just saying that like when Undertale first came out, it was such like a massive fandom thing. The sort of the fandom perception of it kind of clouded the actual work of art. I think I'm just looking forward to people being able to look back on the show as like a work of fiction. Be normal
Right.
people about it as a work of fiction. Both I hope like both its detractors and some of its big fans are kind of able to like be able to like step back and kind of look at this as a completed thing.
No,
So I think there's a lot of baggage
Mhm.
to it right now.
Yes.
Which
you're completely right. I was there online. Undertale. People won't believe me about this now because it's like changed so much. That was like a cringe game for like a good few years.
Yes.
Like I would say like between like until like Deltarune came out, everyone like and like shut up a little bit. There was a large period of time online where Undertale was like cringe and like embarrassing to like, and like it was like so lame that like this thing existed. Like that was like the prevalent opinion online. And I think Deltarune came out, and then everyone kind of got to re-experience like what Undertale was kind of like, and they're like, wait a minute,
Yeah,
I like
they
this,
have to
and
take it to be a-
I like this, and
this
it's
is
nice,
another
and I
thing,
missed
too.
it.
This is another thing too. It's like kind of piggybacking off of what you said, Seep. I want somebody in the future to like they've been maybe heard about it a while, like Digital Circuit, they've heard about the fandom and stuff like that. I want them to just say, okay, I'm not gonna watch it right now. And later in the future they watch it and they're like, wow, that was good without somebody in my ear saying it sucked. Because that's
Right.
exactly it. Because honestly, with Undertale, I know the fan perception of it at the beginning now. When I first played it was like maybe a couple months after it came out. I was not on social media like that. So I played it, I was like, oh, great game. I didn't interact with anybody else. So I was just like, yeah, that was just a good game. So I
Mhm.
learned later that there was just this like, oh, that's kind of cringe kind of game. Like, oh, power of friendship, blah, 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 all that shit later.
Yeah.
And I was like, I genuinely didn't know people felt that way about Undertale. It's such a masterpiece in my head. So that's why I'm just like, I don't know. That's weird.
I saw a post recently that I think maybe gives some like credence to this. It was talking about how this person had like a lot of friends who like going to the movies, and they wanted to see the Digital Circus movie, so they binged the entire show and then saw the movie in theaters, and they really enjoyed their experience with it. I think to some degree, when like we're so removed from like the fandom context of the show, like completely,
Mhm.
I do think we're going to be seeing people kind of like appreciate it more on that level when the time comes. I think you are on the mark fairly well there.
Yeah. Come back to this clip in like 8 years, everyone, and praise us for being there,
When
for
did-
being true, amazing digital warriors
I
from the
think
beginning.
also we're not pointing out the fact that just the four of us right now are adults.
Mhm.
We've seen fandom. We know what fandom did to
Yeah,
us.
we've seen it.
Like
We're veterans.
I was there for the Steven Universe shit. I was there. They were telling like coming back, stepping back as an adult, looking at Steven Universe. I'm like, damn, they were cooking. They were cooking something up. Like they had something going.
I really don't let like fandom culture affect my opinion on anything anymore. I think some people still do that a little bit. And I think I get it to some extent, but I think you tend to like let.
Sometimes it's not even intentional.
Yeah,
but
it's good not to do that, in my opinion. I think it's like not healthy to do that sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta be able to like let yourself feel about something. Like be happy with the thing you enjoy. Have your own race before enjoying it. You don't need to be feeling like you need to justify it to people online you would never speak to or even care.
Yeah, and even if
Just
like
enjoy it.
you don't like the show, I think it'll be good like to be able to look at it like fairly. You know,
yes,
divorced from kind of like it being this on-running thing. But I think there's got to be a lot of reappraisal of it from people who are kind of scared of it right now.
Right.
It's just like this is my fandom like philosophy. Your fandom could just be you for you and a couple of your friends. You don't have to talk to everybody. You don't have to get involved with everybody. It's like, I know that kind of comes off antisocial, but at the same time, I don't want to be interacting with everybody in the world, enjoying the same thing that I'm enjoying. Like sometimes it's just me and my 3 friends. Like
Right.
I don't need to have everybody on my side. So it's like if you have a more like isolated, smaller kind of ecosystem when it comes to fandom, I think it's fine.
Mhm.
I don't think it has to be like either you do it or you don't.
Just
Yeah.
enjoy things for the love of it.
I love the
Mhm.
game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
don't be like 3/4 of the Eltonville boys. Too.
You're right. Yeah.
Whatever.
Be the one
Yeah.
that lives happily.
Yes.
I think we've made our piece. We've set our piece on anything
Yeah.
spoiler free we could say about the finale, right?
Whoa, hey, wait a
Are we-
minute. It's getting a little hot in here. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh geez, looks like
Also, I want to.
I was in the middle of something. Yeah, go, do it. Say.
I was gonna say, you know, like Don is right. When you things are is better when you don't have a bitch complain at you. That was me with High Guardian
Yep.
Spice. I love that series.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Oh, it's getting
What?
hot in here. It's getting a little mild in here even.
Look, he's taking off his pants.
Oh no, are we in the mild spoilers section
Yes.
of this discussion?
I don't even know how this works.
Yes, so I would say now, the way I'm going to describe this section, and you as the viewer can maybe decide if you think it's worth saying or not. Here's where we talk about stuff that I would say wouldn't elicit a major audience reaction. There's going to be more specific plot details. There's going to, if someone explodes into a million pieces and dies, we won't be talking about it here, but this is kind of the point where we might be talking about themes a bit more, might be talking about more specific plot points a bit more. So just brace for that. I would say be ready for that.
Yeah. I think my kind of prerogative with this section is probably if you're someone who's super serious about spoilers, you want to see this in theaters even, and you want to go in completely blind, skip out on this part. But if you're a casual fan who's still interested in the finale, and want to hear us talk, but you still want a few surprises here and there. I don't want to go full Snape kills Dumbledore in this section.
Oh,
fuck.
Oh my god! Do we know? Do we know?
March!
I
didn't know.
Yeah. So I guess to start out in this sort of section, I won't say too specifically what happens, but something about the structure of this that I wanted to talk about is there are very early on in this finale, it's kind of in the first, I guess, block of it that is following right off of where the previous episode ended, where it's really gray and depressing, that whole segment.
Yes.
I think in that part I'd say there are 2 kind of major and highly anticipated I'd say, I guess, plot reveals / developments that happen.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised. I don't know how everyone else here felt about it. But I was surprised how quickly they delivered it. I honestly thought it was kind of a bold move. If you do we know what I'm talking about specifically? I don't want to say
there's the one that happens
I-
first and the one happens later, right?
Yes.
I have some big thoughts about what happens later. We'll get there when we get there. The first
I have thoughts on this one. The first one.
Yeah.
This is really my only thought, because I kind of want you guys to take the lead on this, because I'm just I jabber too much. But my thought was, when the first thing happened, I could see Gooseworks in the writing room rubbing her hands together like, this is how I get them. I could feel it. I could feel it when it happened. I was just like, okay. I can't say I was shocked, but I just found it funny the way it was presented.
Yeah, it was almost kind of the way they did it. I mean, one of them I'd say, okay, one of them I'm talking about is not so much a development, but more of a reveal of something that everyone watching the show kind of figured
Yes.
was the
Yeah.
case, but wasn't really confirmed. Um, I really liked how like they didn't go they didn't overdo it, I guess. They kind of knew that like if you were watching the show and you were paying attention and you were kind of tapped in, you kind of knew where things were going. And it felt kind of like because people do criticize the show, like maybe it's a little too characters talking-y. So I liked how those were parts where they just let and it felt like they respected the audience intelligence
Uh,
at those parts, and they just kind of let the fallout of those reveals
Yeah.
play out.
Yeah.
Because I know it was like if you've been looking at theories, it's things where it's like everyone's going, "Oh, I bet when this scene happens, it's gonna be the most legendary, like crazy thing ever." And yeah, I definitely felt the sort of like the evil hand wringing of it, but I think in a good way. It wasn't like
Yeah.
screw the fans. It was more like
This was bound to happen.
yes,
It's like this is
which
a
I
part
really
of the
loved.
story was gonna happen.
I think
Right,
I think.
and
Oh, go on. You have more to say?
no, keep going. Actually,
No,
Sorry.
I was
I've been
it,
talking about it.
to me, it speaks to like the shows, like what I was saying earlier, where the lore, quote unquote, and like the background details kind of exist to get the characters to certain places more than like the other way around. Because ultimately,
Mhm.
this reveal was so like what kind of happens here can happen here, and like it's ultimately more important how this affects the characters than like the fact that it's happening at all, and what kind of state it
Yeah.
puts them in, and like how we see them react
Honestly,
to that.
Yeah, I was like, I think it made me more invested too. Like I was so tapped in, um, during those parts because it was almost like, um, definitely with one of them where it's like basically like almost just like a jump cut.
Yes,
It was
I
like,
will talk about that when we get there. I have a lot to say on that one. Go on, though.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I. It was almost like watching that. Like I was like, is that even real? Like, is this even actually happening? I kind of had a moment like that,
Mhm.
and that made it so tense because I honestly almost didn't know where things were going at that point. That was definitely like the moment where it was like, okay, there's so much left of this runtime.
Right.
And I thought that was really well done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm trying to think what I was about to say. Like my mind shut off
Yeah.
for a second.
no, it's okay. I get it. I mean, I have more things to mention if
Yeah, go for it. I think
we're
you're
on the break.
good. I think you're good at leading the miles for us. Because I keep wanting to say
You're
like
very much better. Yeah. I'm
is
like
that,
shaking.
Is that too much?
Yeah. I think one kind of broad aspect of this finale, that's kind of I won't say like specific things that happen, but this is indeed a very Jax centric story.
Yes.
He's definitely not like the only character that gets any kind of moments. But he is kind of like definitely a major focus of this. And I think that is something that like if you're really tapped into like the crazy fandom side of things,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's definitely a contentious aspect of the show. And to some level I get it because there is a lot of focus on him, and some people kind of feel like some of the other characters don't get that same degree of attention. Personally, I think, like just with the story that's being told here, I do think they definitely justify it, especially in this finale. Because Jax's whole thing is that he's like the antithesis of the main message, the main kind of
Yeah.
moral takeaway of the show. And so
I
Yes.
wanted
Yeah?
to add on is that like it's like in hindsight, it just makes sense for it to end with Jax because like everyone else was open, was at
Yeah,
least open, was at least
Right.
there, was at least vulnerable,
Like-
and Jax, like we've seen at least snippets of it, but refuses, and this is the final. This is the final person
Yeah,
to go to.
right.
I would say
Yeah.
like an overarching thing of the show is that pretty much everyone on the show either has a relationship or was desiring one. So for example, like the easy one is that like Gangle and Zubul throughout the show, or are like very
Yeah.
like tied at the hip at a certain point. Like they like
Mhm.
very much are there for each other all the time. Ragatha's main thing is that she wants someone to kind of want her more than anything. Like
Mhm.
she's kind of desperate for that want and like desire for like wanting to be like seen a little bit. So like and like she eventually gets that and all that. So like even like she
On top of like being unsure that it's okay if it's not always coming to her from
Right.
Kinger telling her it's okay that like if like Polly doesn't need you or other people don't need you all the time. It's the fact that like you'll be there and they'll be there for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like ultimately her arc is still like very much about like desire and like relationships and like wanting to like
Yeah.
not wanting to be isolated. And then like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinger is like whole thing is like he's been in the circus the longest. He knows how important it is when you're in the circus, like not to like abandon people and to like kind of like make sure you're always there for the other people with you, even when he's like lucid, like and all that. And then Pommy's whole thing is she can't stop getting involved with people no matter
Yeah,
what.
which at the end of the day, what can you do?
Yeah, so
Mhm.
so she's very
Somebody got to get involved.
so she's very much a character who like can't help but get involved. Like she can't like just leave people to like kind of suffer alone.
Hello?
Hi. she can't really like
Just
leave.
cut out, yeah.
She can't really leave people to suffer alone, no matter how much she like acts about it. And then
Right.
Jack,
So that's why
yeah, then
the first half of the show is kind of Pomni getting along with kind of everyone else but Jax, and
Yeah.
it makes sense that Jax is kind of the one. Like the reason the back half of the show is very Jax heavy is it's just because he is so much more difficult to get into.
Mhm.
So I think it is justified in that sense. And honestly, I think something this finale was good at was like for me, Jax, like I think he's an interesting character. He's not really like my personal favorite. Um and there are honestly times where I'm like kind of like over like I like what they do with this character, but there are times where like I know if I was in this damn circus, I would not want anything to do with this guy. Like he's like sincerely like actually annoying sometimes.
That's so
And
funny.
I could I could feel like you know maybe some people might have that frustration with him.
Yeah.
But something I think you know maybe maybe your opinion will vary on this, but I feel like the finale does a really good job at making Jax sympathetic without like eroding his negative aspects too much.
They
Yeah.
don't
like
overfly him at all.
No.
You-
It like
not
you
once.
like you'll under like it's not like you not to be like a Kojima. I'm not being a Kojima here, you know, like once you understand then you feel your fate, but it's like once you understand then you understand why Jax acts the way it is and it'll change your approach to Jax. It won't erase anything about Jax, but it changes like your approach to Jax.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think the important thing this finale does is that it makes you understand him ultimately.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like it isn't
And I
like
think
it isn't like oh look what happened to him. Isn't it horrible that he feel that he's like this happened to him that he was justified in everything he ever did. No, it makes you feel like okay. I know why he was. I know why he was acting up, pretty much, and it does a really good job
Yeah.
like justifying that acting up.
Right. And it's so it's interesting. Man, I completely blanked out there. But no, I think they do a good job justifying that. Even
Right.
though it's not like the story's more about like every human being has like a reason to be sympathized with. Like just the
Yes.
fact that you are a person means you are deserving of just any amount of compassion, and that
Right.
like there's kind of a message of like, you know, everyone kind of has their own story, and it's never like you said, it's not like, you know, you're supposed to forgive him for everything he did. It's just kind of like even with all of this, we still have reason to like I don't know, be there for one another.
I actually
when no one else will.
I actually think they use Gangle the finale very well for that. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
she is kind of the character they use to represent like kind of complicated feelings towards like him
Mhm.
and like the situation he gets into in this.
Yeah.
They kind of use her as like this like the representation of that, which I think is smart. Like she's like
Mhm.
I don't know. It's a lot I don't know if I want to say or not. That is like I think
Oh,
But
man.
if you were to rank punching bag, Jax's punching bags, Gango's up there.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
love
Right.
it would have been so easy to like because I feel like I can't think of any specific examples, but I feel like characters similar to Jax when they kind of have a redemption. I think there's a lot of archetypes where you're supposed to they kind of expect the audience to sort of forget about some of the more like harsh traits of a character. And I like how
Oh, I can
this
think of one. Nick Wilde from Zootopia. It's the same character.
right, it's a very common thing. I like
Yeah.
how this finale very pointedly like reminds you of like specific like negative traits.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
it kind of includes that in the total evaluation. And there's kind of like a multifaceted aspect
Mhm.
to it. So I really do like I've always thought like the character work. I mean, that's the focus of the show, and I think it is
Yes.
just as strong here. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like I mentioned, it's like it changes your approach. It's like, okay, so that's your deal. So now I know what to do, how to deal with
Mhm.
you.
I mentioned
And I know-
earlier. This finale kind of made things I maybe didn't like about the series retroactively like land. Jax is the big one. I think what we learned in this kind of like makes a lot of what they were doing with him like kind of makes sense to me in
Mhm.
hindsight.
Yeah.
I think ultimately it is actually important that he is complicated and like kind of annoying and like
Yeah.
frustrating. Because I think what the show
Mhm.
ultimately ends on, it wouldn't have worked if he wasn't.
Mhm.
Like a little,
Yep.
if he wasn't frustrating to be
Like
around.
if it held back, then it wouldn't work. Like Gooseworth said, I know Gooseworth mentioned for like, yeah, I like it when people want to put Jax as a shredder
Yeah.
because it's just like,
And-
okay, it's working.
And girl, I was happy to do that. Letting you know, Miss Gooseworks, I was on your side 100%. I wanted
Mhm.
to shred him, put him in a nice little blender. But that's the thing about me. Like, I'm not like the thing about it is it's like with Jax, unfortunately, one of my toxic traits is liking characters like him.
Mhm.
So I I I was very begrudgingly quite fond of him. I like
Mhm.
complicated characters. I like characters who are frustrating to work with. And it's not because I want to be in that situation, because if I was in a situation with Jax like that, I would have killed him myself. But it like I want to see characters trying to figure him out.
Mhm.
Or I want there to be moments where he lets something out.
Mhm.
And then he's
Mhm.
like, actually, never mind. Fuck you. I forgot about that. Haha. And it's like, okay. Like, I don't know why. I just like those kinds of characters because I want to see them either break or change. I want to see
Right.
what it takes for them to do that. So, Jax for me was a perfect character because, yeah, he's like that. He's complicated, he's frustrating, he's annoying. And it's like, but I love him anyway. And I can
Mhm.
finally say that with an open heart. I love him. And I'm sorry that he's the Tumblr sexy man that everyone was claiming him to be. Sorry. I honestly, my love for him was to protect women. I don't want him near women. That was my point. I don't want him near
Yeah.
women. So the love for him was to protect women. And
Mhm.
that was it. Like I've come to this as a person who just genuinely liked him. So that was my point, my non-spoilery point.
Okay.
Steve, do you have anything else you think is like worth kind of keeping within the mild spoiler section before we
Yeah.
move on? Yeah, go on, go on.
I guess I would just ask like what did you think of like the whole thing overall tonally? Like what kind of ending were you expecting and was it different from how it turned out? Like for example, I would say that I was actually I was personally kind of surprised how like kind of sweet of an ending it was without saying exactly what happens.
Yes.
I feel like I think episode 8 really primed honestly like the whole like run of like last 3 or 4 episodes I think really primes you for like, oh, this is just going to be a completely devastating like showcase. This is
Yeah.
just going to like this is going to ruin my day when I watch this. And there's definitely like I guess I'd still call it bittersweet in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But it was a lot sweeter than I thought.
When,
And I was just wondering, like, do you think that was like justified? Were you
So
what did you think of
when
yeah.
I saw the movie, I made a post on my side Blue Sky account, and I described it as sickeningly sweet. That might be the overall vibe I get, way I would describe it. I think, unlike some people, I was maybe never expecting like a completely like grim dark ending. I think some people were like, oh, okay, they're all gonna be abstract, every single one of them's it's gonna be horrible and miserable at the end. I think the show in my mind was like, this show's like maybe a bit too hopeful, like most of the time, to completely end like that. I think I knew there was gonna be at least something that was gonna be like really upsetting. Like there was gonna be at least one major upsetting thing. But my thought is the show very much usually takes a hopeful stance on things. Like it's like it's very hopeful about like its characters. So I think in that sense, I wasn't too surprised.
Right.
The direction it went in. I think it ended kind of the exact tone a show like this should have in its ending. Honestly,
I mean, for me personally, when I was going in, I was expecting the worst, but not totally. I was just expecting this to be bad, and like
bad? Like, you thought you weren't gonna
you're
like
laughing,
it?
but I was dreading it a little bit. I was so excited about it, but as the hours slipped into when I was supposed to go to the movies, I was like, oh god, what if this is bad? Oh god.
Right.
But
never
and
seen
this is funny. I told Ryan this. I emailed her and told her this. I won't say anything about it, but I had one thought in my head that got me through it. And I ended up just going to the movie with hope in my heart. So we'll get into that later. But I kind of was expecting it to be a little more explosive.
I
But
could see that.
the way it did end, I appreciated it 1,000 times more. Because it's I did find it interesting you think that the show is a little too hopeful. I feel like we need that right now.
No, I didn't say. I never said.
Kind of like it was the same. No. I'm not saying that you were saying it was a bad thing. It was just kind of hitting me because I heard this about Superman when that movie came out, where they were saying it was one thing to call it cheesy or corny. It was another thing when people were like, it's too hopeful. What do you need right now? I don't need shit to be realistic. I don't need shit to be grimdark. I want something to make me feel good, or at least honestly, keep going. So it's like I don't know.
I want I want the superhero team to actually go out and take out Netanyahu.
I would have liked that actually. Never mind.
Yeah. No, it's something that I think I don't know. I think it was overall earned, like you said. Like I think it is good to leave on that sort of note. It did. There was a point near the end where I guess I just think like I'm sure some people like your mileage will vary because it does at a point like start really leaning into that. But you know, it's I think the show has always had like sincerity about it.
No, that was always my thing. Is I think the show at the end of the day was always like it's fun for as like quirky and wacky as it is. It was ultimately always like a bit too sincere about its message and characters. I think to end on a completely like just dour, horrible kind of note.
Right.
You know, it's like super honest about itself. It's like, oh, this is like familiar trope, but like it is just true to life. The emotions are just true to life. It's just how we feel, what we want, what we hope for.
What we need.
What we experience.
All right. Do we think now we need to probably I think a lot
I'm
of us.
shaking.
I think some of us have some stuff to
Ryan.
say.
I'm shaking.
All right.
Please.
This
I am
is
ready to ban me off.
this is truly and utterly the final warning, fellas in chat. Nothing's off. Nothing's like this is completely unrestricted. We're gonna talk about anything that happens in this now. This is your final, completely, utterly, and final warning to leave if you don't want to get spoiled.
Yeah.
On the specifics of what's gonna happen here, and like the big things and stuff.
Yeah, and I should say I don't want to spend too much time like dissecting every single little thing because there is a lot
I'm fine
to
with
get
that.
into with this. But I think there is probably one specific major aspect of it that you, especially Ryan, like wanted to get into that was kind of characterizing your whole evaluation of the show overall.
Yeah. Okay. I think we've given people enough
I'm
time.
ready.
Yeah. So
I'm
your
ready
last
to talk about the
answer, get
band name. I'm ready to talk about the band name.
All right, Ryan,
So-
give it to us.
Wait, can I say something?
Sure.
Well, is it spoilery?
Yeah, it is spoilers, right?
Well, let Ryan do it.
Ryan start.
Mine's gonna maybe be I'm gonna maybe lose something a bit heavy. Rosa, if you want to leave with I guess a joke.
We're in spoilers now, Turtle.
Yes,
Okay, so,
yeah. Peter's on screen.
Kiggers
From
Jax is dead.
all
I know.
right,
I'm
everyone-
fine. Yeah.
All right,
I had to
everyone,
say
for
it.
here
I'm sorry.
here and out, we're gonna be using Jack's proper pronouns.
Well,
That's kind of complicated too.
Jax never changes pronouns.
Yeah,
We're gonna
Jack's
use
never
more than one
came
pronouns
out.
for Jack's.
We're gonna be using
We're gonna
pronouns
use
that
every
might
pronoun for Jax.
Jax might be you might be hearing pronouns for Jax that aren't he him a bit throughout this conversation.
Yeah, sorry.
Uh,
So now we're talking. Wait a second. Wait, hold on, everybody.
So-
I thought we were talking about the mashed potato scene.
Oh shit. Yeah.
the big he got his mashed potatoes in at the last
We were ripping
second.
that band-aid off? I thought we were talking about the scene where at the end when we have a recreation of the Great Supper, Kinger's eating a plate of mashed potatoes. I
So
thought that was like the big
if I can maybe lead with this, I guess be ready. This is about to be a bit heavy. This finale colored my opinion on the show in a way because it made me kind of realize something. I think the Amazing Digital Circus is a show that is about when a transgender person isolates themselves from the world and then basically like doesn't have the support they need to like keep going. I think it is almost squarely bluntly about that. I'm gonna be very blunt here. I think I admit I know it's like kind of grim to say. The thing that happens to Jax in this is basically Jax committing suicide. And it's a bit grim to say. I think people don't like hearing that because it's Jax is very obviously the transgender allegory here. And I think people kind of get like antsy about that stuff. But I also would say, and we'll get this when we get there. I think the show is ultimately very hopeful about that message.
Yep.
But it is very much about a transgender person isolating themselves and then not getting the support they need, and then like offing themselves. And we talked about earlier. One of the two big jump cuts that happens in like when at the start of the movie is they cut to Jax abstracted just suddenly, just very suddenly.
It was very sudden.
I think to me that works really well for two reasons. The first one's less important to me, honestly. It's that we've basically seen Jax on the verge of abstraction, like two or three times. One of the sequences, like in the episode where like they're trying to get out, is basically showing you what it looks like when it happens. So we kind of just know what it looks like already. I don't think they really need to like do it again. And more importantly to me, I think it represents basically again heavy stuff coming. When a friend kills themselves, you're not really in the room with them a lot of the time. It's something you find out very suddenly. It's very shocking. You have no time to react to it. You have no time to like. It just has happened. To me,
the emotion is kind of like regret. Like I wish I could have done something different.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
even Pomni, that was like the thing. Pomni said, like, I wish I prayed more.
Right. Yeah.
Seeing Jax extracted.
I think that is very literally what you're supposed to be taking from that. Is that Jax has basically killed themselves, and everyone's just kind of like in the like that moment, like, what do we even do now? It's too late for any of us to do anything. And I think I mentioned Gangle earlier. I think they use Gangle here very smartly to show like Jax had done a lot of shitty things. Jax had like hurt a lot of people. Jax had done very upsetting things. And Gangle, obviously it's upsetting that Jax is gone now, but like she's not really sure how to feel about it because they were so horrible to her in particular. And I think that was a very smart thing to do.
Like
with the
Jax, Jax was never nice to Gangle
No,
from the start, and Gangle just
Yes.
let herself be a punching bag. Like Jack was always mean to Zubul too, but Zubul bites back.
Right. I like how they made it a point too to show they show the exact moment that Gangle showed up too, just to remove any ambiguity. Because I know there was some reaction like, what if Jax is like being mean for an amazing reason? But they pretty much show that
He was just being mean.
Yeah, it's just him finding kind of the weakest person there to use as a punching bag, very unambiguously.
Someone to feel more pathetic, to make
someone feel more pathetic than him deep down.
Yeah.
And
that's someone who feels awful.
And I want to lighten the mood just a little bit, because the thing about it is that when I was walking into this, or like the hours before I was walking into this movie, I was ready to just write Jax off and just say, nah, he's dying in this one. He might as well die. I can't afford to keep buying shit if he lives. So it's like he's going to die.
I'm not buying your merch.
It's like enough. This is like I paid $25 for that fucking plushie. I was just like, we're not doing this anymore. He dies tonight. And the closer I stepped into that night, this is how much I loved him. My heart dropped. I was like, oh my God, is he gonna die? I don't want him to die. And the thing about it is, and I told you, I emailed this to Ryan, and I said, oh, but what if he's trans? And that got me to walk into the movie theater. Because I was just like, what if he comes out? And I walked into the movie theater. Unfortunately, he did abstract.
Yeah.
And it does hurt now with Ryan's context. Because when it happened in the movie theater, the Jax girlies in the back gasped.
That was.
I was like, not you.
That was one of the things my audience reacted to. Yeah.
I think me personally, I got hit, but also I was just like, I figured this would happen.
I remember.
And now with that context, I feel awful. Because I'm just like, imagine seeing the signs and not doing anything about it. That sucks.
I remember
when
I finished the movie, I was telling my friend how emotional I was, how much I cried, and my friend, like the day before, she was saying, "Oh, I hope you get your Ragged Pony and Jax dies." It's like, oh, and the next year I was like crying, and here I am crying for Jax.
Yeah,
yeah. I think
literally crying.
Like I said, I think to me what was interesting and important and like fascinating about this is I think when it comes to like transgender characters in like art and media, I guess right now, I think it is really easy to sympathize with an attractive, kind transgender character.
Perfect representation.
Yeah,
idealized representation.
What I like about Jax, like in hindsight now, is I think I described it at one point as like a loving tribute to like difficult transgender people, like kind of like people who are like hard to deal with, like they're like complicated, they're like not perfect, but like that doesn't mean they're not worthy of love in some way and that they don't have things going on in their life. I guess if someone has to see the movie somehow and they're still here, the way this happens in the movie is it's not really like bluntly stated, oh, Jax was transgender the whole time. It is very much though, like, if you don't pick up on this, I think you're just like not watching the movie, to be frank with you.
No, this is serious.
Yeah. So
if you didn't get it by then, I don't know what to tell you.
There's a few things in the show itself that like were leading towards this. Like people have talked about this before. But in the movie itself, there's a few things. Like Jax has like a few like I guess like intrusive thoughts you basically get to view. And one of them is like basically the way it works. Is, like, he has like intrusive thoughts about like how he would like act if his friends like abstracted. And the one for
Mhm.
Zubul, he has like the maid outfit on. He's like kind of like showing. He's like, "Oh, I'm giving tribute to like Zubul's gender fluidity kind of thing." And
Yes.
and that's like kind of like one of the early signs you get that he like seems to like actually really enjoy being like that. And I think it also like paints kind of his dynamic with Zubul in a different light. Like he was maybe taking some of his feelings out on them, and there was some like resentment and jealousness that Zubul like is very like out and proud about themselves. I think it paints that relationship
Yeah.
like very smartly now.
And
I
like
think-
the and like just wanting, like I joked that I joked to Ryan that like, oh, Jax wants Gangle to be the chase her chaser or something. But like it's kind of just like the reason why Jax like imprints that onto Gangle is because Gangle again was very to the hit with Zubul, was straight up just says in love with, they were both like in love with each other.
If you kind
And
of
Jax
Right.
was like jealous and that wanted that.
if you kind of
Yeah.
view like Jax and Gangle's relationship anyway as like perhaps he did have any
Talk to Gary.
some sort of like feelings for her. It kind of adds to the fact like Zubul, who is someone who is very out and proud, was able to like kind of attract Gangle and like get Gangle like in their life like very like lovingly. And then like the other thing that happens with Jax in this there's a conversation where he's talking to, I guess we need to talk about the big thing in this episode, which is like Rivet. He's talking to Rivet, who is one of the past Digital Circus members, and a lot of this is built on his falling out with her. He has a conversation with her. I think there's a lot you could think about with Rivet too. It's so much to talk about. Rivet, it's like she mentions like being from like a Mormon upbringing, and that she had to run away because like her parents like didn't like, she couldn't live with her parents like that. I think there's honestly a queer reading to have of Rivet too.
Mm-hmm.
To be frank
Of
with you.
course.
Yes.
I mean, she clocked Jax.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I think it's very like pointed. They make sure the character who like does the thing I would to say has this kind of like, I come from a Mormon upbringing. I didn't feel like accepted in that family, so I had to run away. When Jax has a conversation with her about like I had a talk with my mom. Our relationship has gotten like really bad over the years, like because my dad ran away and like she was like cruel to me, and I told her something really personal and sensitive, and she laughed at me. But then afterwards, she hugged me, and I got so scared I like pushed her to the ground and ran away. And Jack thinks he might have like killed her or something, and he's not really sure.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it's just it just makes sense. And like there's just that begins like the layer of like Jax feeling like she was unforgivable, didn't deserve any sort of comfort or care. It just allowed herself to be like homeless and ran away.
Yeah, and the second Jax is done talking to her, she says, "Your secret is safe with me," and she places like her bow tie on his head, and Jax starts like blushing. And it's very clear what you're supposed to interpret here is that she kind of knows like what the personal thing, like she's able to pretty easily pick up on what the personal thing Jax told their mom was.
And I think I want to add to this that something I like about how this is handled. I think there's definitely, you can easily see a world where, because this story is already like, it's about like mental health and like mental illness and dealing with people who are mentally ill, and that's kind of manifesting in a way that's like genuinely harmful and like difficult to deal with. I could see a world where like a show like this takes a like more of a broad approach to that, just saying like generally like just someone acting out just because something happened to them and we never really find out. But I think I do like how they decide to make it a very specific reading in this.
Yes.
Where I think even if you aren't like personally relating to the trans aspect of it, I mean, it's still like a very like human story. But I like how that there's that extra layer to it. And they really play into like genuinely like how it affects his relationship with others that he views as like quote gender freaky, or the way he treats like specifically like women too.
Yeah.
He has some kind of, I don't remember exactly what he says, but there is like a very explicitly like misogynist line that he says, and I think that's a very
Mhm.
that feels like a very like intentional aspect of his character because you never
Oh my
see him say a thing to Kinger really. Like
Right.
he calls Kinger crazy, but
I've
never
noticed
really
that.
Right,
manipulates.
he mostly hangs around like women
The women
Yeah,
and the day
Gangle,
and
Gangle,
like
and
and the
Pomni,
day,
yeah,
non-male
like,
presenting people.
only antagonize most of them except Kinger. Like little remarks at Kinger, but like nothing else.
it's very
So I think that was
yeah. It's very smartly put together that like to some degree he's kind of acting out to some we know now maybe to some like degree of resentment like that he can't really like again we especially mentioned with Zubul. I think like
Mhm.
I think his antagonism with Zubul in hindsight is like very intentional. I think it is very much
Mhm.
he's resentful of Zubul because of that. I liked it's very easy to read like because when Kafmo, who was the character we haven't mentioned yet, it's the other character he kind of has a falling out with during this. Kafmo knocks on the door and he immediately like tosses the bow. Like he tosses the bow that's been put on his head like instantly
Oh, I
and
know what
quickly.
this is.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it's one of those things.
Ham Grump.
Yeah, I guess you're
Right.
talking about that.
Or-
So I
Is
gotta
that
give a
true?
hand.
Yeah, it's Aaron Hansen. He voices Kafmo.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck
I caught
off.
Yeah,
that.
he sounds.
God
Yeah,
damn it, man.
I caught that
The
immediately.
funny
The
part-
second
yeah. The funny. Don't worry. The voiceover told him, "Hey, use a normal voice this time."
Aaron Hansen.
come on.
Okay.
Aaron Hansen is a really funny guy because when he does like his like cartoon voice, he's not very good. But honest to God, when he does like this kind of like his normal voice, like kind of a lower
Right.
like calmer one, he's pretty good at this. He was in Owl House too, and
Right.
he was pretty good in that. Like I think he does like a really good job as Kafmo too.
Girl.
He did one of the He played like one of the Wizard brothers from Being Puppet 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's honestly like not really that bad. He's like perfectly fine when he's like just doing kind of a calmer voice. So I think he does a good job because Kafmo is like very much kind of a very chill, agreeable guy. Like he gets along with like
Yeah.
everyone in the circus. He's very like kind. I think he's an important aspect of this because when Ribbit abstracts, because he and Ribbit and Jax have a big falling out, basically. Because Jax is not. I think Jax gets so like he gets very like self-conscious about the fact someone basically knows what's going on with him. Like not even just to the degree of his mother. Like him throwing the bow off, I think is very much an intentional like even more than like his mother. I think he's embarrassed that someone knows about like his gender situation to some degree.
Yeah.
And that's part of the
He's,
reason. Part of the reason he's acting like I think him telling Kafmo, if Ribbit tells you anything about me, it's not true. To me that reads even less that he cares about like the mom backstory and more that like, hey, if Ribbit tells you anything like my gender or something, like it's not true. Don't believe her. That's how I read it at least. I think that's to some degree the thing he's even more embarrassed about. And then like when Ribbit abstracts, Kafmo is immediately like, hey, dude, if you like need to talk to someone, like I know we aren't as close as we used to be. Like, please talk to me, dude. And then Jax, throughout the rest of this kind of like flashback sequence,
it's clear that like D had a falling out too.
Yeah,
I like how. Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say I like how the if you need someone to talk to line is kind of like low key like
Repeated.
a running motif. Definitely in this finale, but I think it's in a few other episodes maybe as well. And they really like. I like how they turn that kind of into like a dagger phrase for Jax. Like that's something that kind of triggers him. Like legitimately. Like there's the scene where it's sort of like a vision of Pomni. Like where you're sort of seeing like his magical perception of everyone. And he starts like literally choking her. That was crazy.
And can I say also, just real quick, this is like a lighter topic thing to talk about. Ribbit's kind of sexy. Anyway.
Okay.
I thought.
I really wanted to talk real quick because I mean I think we've been other the fact that Ribbit is sexy. We kind of been like pointing out the fact that he's not very hostile towards other male characters. Now everything gets new context. The pink bunny one of Jax, how he wanted to eat him.
Oh,
it's just like I don't think. Yeah, I think about that too much. But it's like he sees a softer version of himself, and he's like, absolutely not. And it's like very obvious he wants male validation, but not in like
Mhm.
I wanted to do it. It's just like I'm doing male right? I'm doing it right,
Yeah.
guys, right?
I mean,
Right.
that's also the thing.
Definitely
Like,
seeing it. I just find it fascinating. Like it's not that he's trying to like he's trying to hide. It's like he's trying so hard to get back to that point, but he can't
Right.
Mhm.
because it's
Mhm.
like there's something inside him still. But
Mhm.
I just found it fascinating that the two men that he's made like trying to get some like validation from, even though one of them is like he has made digs at it, is Kaufmo and Kinger, the two like most chill dudes who probably would not have cared
Right. Like
if he didn't come
Mhm.
out to them.
I think
Like
that they characterize Kaufmo in a very intentional way. Like it's kind of like if Jax talked to Kaufmo would absolutely have been there for Jax kind of
Mhm.
thing. It's
Yes.
just that Jax is like so like self-destructive that he doesn't
Yeah.
allow
Mhm.
himself to like have someone here for them. I do think we're talking about like the misogyny thing of it. I do think it's telling
Mhm.
his relationship with Kaufmo is not like hostile. It's very much just like dismissive. Like
Mhm.
yeah.
he
Yeah.
isn't like
Yeah.
ragging on him or anything. He's just like kind of like whatever, dude. Whatever. Yeah, sure. Whatever. I guess. Yeah. Whatever.
Right.
Keeping him at arm's
Mhm.
length, but not like actively pushing him.
Pushing him away. Mhm.
Yeah. I think,
What?
did you have something, Rosa? I was gonna shift to a lighter note.
Actually, this was in my cards. I want to mention. I think about this fan art sometimes, where it's like, Jax is trans femme, but like the type of trans femme Jax is the Channer, the 4 Channer trans femme.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's
Calling,
definitely like
and then
yeah.
like calling like Rakata and Pami like passoids and femmoids and
Ugh.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
But
is like,
that is
yeah,
like I
Yeah.
wouldn't say he's that deep in, but definitely it's getting there.
it could get there.
Yeah.
It's not too, but it's definitely touching on like the reasons why people like turn to that kind of behavior.
Mhm.
I was gonna say on a lighter note, just to talk about something. This is a spoiler, but for something really funny.
Oh, yeah.
I think the scene that I laughed the hardest at. Okay, does anyone here know what this is? Ryan, do you know what the scene I laughed the hardest at is?
I'm going to
Can you
guess
guess?
it's either the thing that happens before the movie actually starts, or it's his Gangle abstraction like vision.
Yes, it's the Looney Tunes thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
They
cute.
do like
Honestly, I'm sorry.
they do like a vision of like if Gangle had abstracted, like how Zubul would react, and it's played kind of like an ironic kind of like Looney Tunes parody thing where the characters are just acting in the most obvious exaggerated ways. Like Zool turns into like a big monster with chainsaws saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you," and then Jax does like a wild tuning take where his arm bulges out into the screen and he runs away. I was like, how I laughed so hard. I must have been like the hardest laughing person at that moment.
Yeah, everyone in my
I-
theater was laughing.
I freaking love that.
No, my theater loved that too. I will.
like, sorry,
Oh god.
I left.
Yes. No, sorry for just corroborating that this did indeed happen. I was literally slapping my knee, I think.
I'm glad.
Yeah, you did slap your knee. That was the biggest reaction you got out of anything in that movie. You couldn't believe your eyes.
Uh-huh.
Other than
Yeah.
Jack,
Because it is such a it's such a, like a dour, like emotional, like the stuff we're talking about here is really heavy. So it's really funny to just throw something like that in the middle. It's probably the biggest
Now-
moment of levity you get.
Did we also like? Are we also like gonna have to mention that like, this is all happening when in Jack's mindscape that Pomni entered in by like holding onto Jax in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You didn't even mention that,
Yeah.
guys.
I think if you're here for this section, you kind of know what happened in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want it. I don't want. We don't need to do like a full.
My
beat
Yeah.
on
I want to
it.
say about the Gangle scene. I think it's also kind of a little character interesting thing that you can like in his vision of that happening. He thinks it's because of him that it happened. Like Zubo specifically said, "You did this." Like in Jax's mind, if Gangle abstracted, it would be his fault. Like he's ready to like blame himself for that. I do think that is amongst the very funny joke. That is like an interesting kind of character thing. You kind of notice.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, if Rakata abstractor, there's something really interesting about that. Just that Jack just goes hands off, like ready to choke Pommy out, like knowing, like it probably is just like that's the last link to like Revit gone.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It does, and at that point, like Jack is like completely locked up. It's like ready
Right.
to like completely go off.
We are at the 4-hour mark here.
Can I talk
I
real quick
think it's
about my favorite part?
yeah.
Just
I would
real
just say it's
quick.
probably a good time to start wrapping. Like if we have any like
Just real quick.
final
I got
No.
a few things I want to talk about. Sorry, go on.
I want.
Are you sure?
I
Okay,
want
I'm
to
just saying, like-
talk about the cover of "Isn't She Lovely"
Yeah.
over
God,
a Jax AMV.
oh,
The way I cackled, the way I said yes, God.
what's that? Okay, was that supposed to be funny? I kind of couldn't tell in the
No!
moment.
No,
No?
not even a little bit. No.
My cackling was of joy. I loved it. I was just like every day.
Not not only do I not think that was even remotely a joke, I think the song intent choice was super intentional. Actually,
It was so wonderful.
I think it's very specific. I think there's gonna be people who think that the she in that song is about Pomni and that it's a shipping thing. That's like a Jackson Pomni thing. And
Absolutely
Jackson,
not.
I think people are gonna take it that way. I'm sure of it.
Dumb.
I think
Dumb
it's
as hell.
I think it's very intentional that there's a song that refers to a person as she and calls them lovely. And it's over an AMV of clips that are almost exclusively
Jack.
of Jack's. I do have to be honest. I talked about crying during the movie.
Aww.
This is the one where I did start tearing up during the movie. And to explain myself, it's like I think people are gonna like have very mixed opinions about the fact this is basically a movie about a transgender person committing suicide. And maybe the ethical state of that, like depicting that, and like if that's a kind thing to do. I think it's to me. I think what's happening here is actually done with a lot of love. Gooseworks has said before, Jax is the closest thing to a self-insert of the show for her. I think, to me, it speaks to like a personal experience she's had. I think she knows how this feels. To me, it feels very personable.
Person.
And I think the choice, the song use of Isn't She Lovely? That feels, again, very intentional to me. And I guess in the moment I was thinking like, this is like a big scene from the biggest cartoon on planet Earth right now. Like not even just like America or YouTube, or like just genuinely probably the biggest cartoon in the world right now. And this like big scene is happening where a trans woman is basically being comforted and loved in her final moments.
Yes.
It's very view with halfway down with it, like where like you jump off, and when you're about to reach the ground, you start to regret it. Like you've begun to regret the choice you made. And in that final moment, Jax is being comforted, and there's a song that is describing, I guess, like the transgender character, like stand-in metaphor as like lovely, like precious and like wonderful. I don't know.
Remember
in the moment that I think it kind of all came together to affect me.
I did end up crying. So I got it.
I remember as I was watching that scene, I realized I was crying. I was bawling my eyes out, my mouth agape, ready to like let out a noise, but just holding back so I won't like so no one else can hear me at the moment, because like of course I'm in the theater. But it just hit so hard, so much. That very last moment, like for the longest time, it's clear like Jax felt like someone who didn't deserve all that kindness. Jax wanted to push everyone away. Jax was like even just a monster, or like choosing to be a monster that no one wants to be around after like supposedly like in a way also being like a murderer, you know. Revit, Kaufmo, gone. Even potentially her mother. But even then, at that final moment, all it took was Pawnee giving her that hug, just like letting Jax know it's okay,
I think
it's okay,
Mm.
and just Jax
Mhm.
saying, "I don't want to leave," like realizing like Jax always had the second chance.
I think it kind of speaks to like Jax finally let herself kind of be seen a little bit, like for the first
Yeah.
time ever. They finally let the shield go down and realize I could have been having this the entire time, and I didn't let myself have this ever. And I think that's very emotionally honest. I think it's very harsh. I think it is definitely the harshest, saddest thing in this finale is that Jax in their final moment
Mhm.
like realizes, oh, I could have had this my entire life, and I regret not letting myself have this. But in
Mhm.
their
Especially in spite of everything.
but in their final
I think that's
moments,
why.
she gets to be seen. I think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that's why I think the sweetness of the ending does work, because it's kind of showing like even though this happened, it's not necessarily an inevitability. Like there's still,
Yes.
Mhm.
you know,
Even towards
like
the
this is not just like, yeah.
I wanted to mention that even when Jax distracted, everyone still took care of Jax, made a comforting home. How when a person abstracts, they just put them in the hole, but
Right.
now they took the chance to build something, to make something comforting, and just to see Jax just sleep peacefully, to still see her as a person, even when abstracted.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
I think what also like got me is I don't know if Kane could have did anything. But the way
I
it sounded like he could, and that's why I was just like, what does that mean? And I just it really hurt, but at the same time, I did appreciate that they did give her a comfortable place to rest, and that she's not technically dead,
not.
but she's just not the same.
Mhm.
And I
Right.
do also appreciate they let all the abstractions out to live, even if they aren't in their regular forms.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like how they didn't do like a reversal of anything. I
Right.
think that's something like maybe some people would have expected.
Yeah.
But I think it was a good decision to give that sort of finale. So there's a lot of bittersweet about it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's
Were there any more like specific spoiler topics we wanted to talk about? I just want to
let's
avoid
talk
like
about
going on too long.
Kane.
I guess we should talk about Kane a little bit because that is kind of the second half of the finale in a lot
I
of
girl
ways.
the way I forgot about him. I'm so serious.
Yeah, that is what I said when
I mean,
I think
yeah,
the structure is a bit odd. The first like 30 minutes of this are like the Jax like thing. And there's like 10 minutes of Kane, and then you get like the wrap up at the end.
Yeah, I think I did really like his scene. I like how they sort of paralleled like his return with his origins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the moment where I wondered like, okay, is this too uplifting? But I think I'm happy with
We need that.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna say it again. We need that.
I think it's a good counterbalance. My thought is that I remember saying this. Kane dying feels like it's less something that need to happen for his character, and more something that need to happen for like the story to get to where it is here. Like it was never like vital that he dies by the end, comparatively to like Jack. So I think it is
it's
actually
more about
important.
like, the structural.
Yeah,
yeah, it's more about the structural like consequence of like how that affects like the world they're in.
Yeah, and I think it's good that there's like levity at the end here. We're like we lose Jax, and Jax like is like you can't deal with that emotion, but Kane gets to come back and like kind of grow at the end. But I think the thing that happens with Kane at the end here is that he gets to like kind of like learn. I think he finally realizes like he doesn't understand humans, but he actually wants to now. Like he I think by the end the idea is that he's basically becoming like more human, which I think is a good
and
good
also
to give.
in a way it's like a parallel to like what others go through. Like he's done so much harm, so much pain to others, and he was like ready to lash out again to be angry, but then realizing, no, it is his fault. They already killed him and everything. There's
Mhm.
no more of that. Like ready to relinquish like all his power and to meet everyone at their level, understanding that like, yeah, it's gonna take a long time to forgive him, but like he wants to work at it. It's like,
Mhm.
Mhm.
taking a glimpse to like what Jax would have been able to grow through too.
Mhm.
Like,
And also like literally when
yeah,
you
Yeah.
see sort of like the
mhm,
human side of it.
yeah.
Uh,
Like
yeah.
we now know that
I
they're
think
all just
I was
copies of the real people, but they became their own person.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that was generally like
Mhm,
an important like with how heavy like textual it.
mhm.
I mean, like I said, you're kind of seeing that like there are other ways. You know, it doesn't have to be a tragedy. Life doesn't have to be a tragedy. It's just kind of basically the
Yeah.
overall message.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. I think Kane was a smart thing to do to give some levity and to like kind of have a nice ending like that.
Yeah.
I guess like there's two last things to talk about here to kind of as we wrap up. Is like we get to see the characters as they exist in the real world. We get to see everyone for the first time, which was very sweet. It was very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I like how they handled
I
it. I like how
cried.
they kind of I wasn't expecting them to do that
Mhm,
as much as they did,
mhm.
or even honestly. So it was kind of neat
Yeah,
and clever how like
their real
um
names and everything.
and
Uh,
Mhm.
also
yeah.
really insane. Also, of course, Jax is like gender freaky like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like how they handle it. I also like how like never really. I I like how you get to know like just enough about
You're
like they kind of do.
you're pimping out a
They
bit, just so
kind
you know.
of do the like. Oh, sorry. Okay. Uh, if someone else can go.
No, I think I know what you're saying. I think it's a good way to like kind of like give a satisfying like these characters did grow outside in the real world too. Because I think the idea is a lot of these guys showed up in the circus at the worst part of their lives, basically.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a comforting thing to know like they kind of kept living in the real world, like their lives
Yeah,
just didn't
it's
stop.
about like those crossroads moments in your
Mhm.
life. You know. Yeah,
I liked
Huh.
I liked it.
I liked it. I liked when Kinger saw his family and cried. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, it was
Oh
Even though
God,
sweet.
please.
And
That,
then them
Even though
hearing,
I know. Oh, go, Rosa.
I was gonna say it was very heartwarming to hear how much better Gango's doing, how Zuba got to be the bartender they wanted
Oh
to be,
yeah.
leave their mark,
How
Yeah.
Kanger got to be a
how
college
Pommy
professor.
got to be.
Ragatha apologized to her mother.
She
all that.
Okay.
not only
All
did it,
right.
she literally did not. She did the exact opposite of that.
Yeah,
No,
she just left.
I just know though that there's gonna be so many ending explained theory videos saying like, oh, what was the bus at the end? Like, where were they going?
At home. What the fuck are you talking about? But
You didn't stay
no,
after the credits.
Also, also like Jax. Also like seeing like the real life Jax just being like a sweetheart to a woman as a male person is like very sweet. It's just showing
it
like
was
this.
very cute.
The Jax still has a transition or has a transition, but like people also mentioned Jax goes to Zubal's bar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For some
Yeah.
reason, I didn't assume they would all live near each other. Like they wouldn't all be in the same area because they all put the heads. I don't know why I didn't think that would be a thing. I feel stupid.
It's like I feel yeah.
You put on the
So, the
headset
thing-
at the same place, so
My context for this is crazy. My context for this is a Jacob Geller video talking about like separating the self from the body. And there's one like game he mentions where people like download their consciousness into a computer to live on during a time of like world-ending crisis. so their consciousness keeps going, but what about them in the present? And
Mhm.
that's a big fear of mine, where it's just like, okay, you're gonna die, even if your consciousness goes, oh, what's the point? So I just found it funny that there was like a flip side to that, where it's more of a positive ending, where it's just like all this bad stuff's happening in the digital circus, but there's like you're growing and you're changing, but your real person is thriving too.
And I
And
get
he's
and then
doing better than you are. So I was just like,
but
I
on
liked
the
that.
yeah, and also on the plus, like after seeing them thrive, they realize that like it made them realize like they're their own person and they
Yeah.
still can even thrive within the circus. Especially when this was being shown by Kane, he wants to show that yeah, you're you're gonna be all right,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you could be
Yeah.
all right here.
And then
Yeah.
High Five Ghost
Uh,
became a DJ. I guess less to talk
Yeah.
about now, finally, for real. Also, there's a little cute shot there in the credits, which is fun. I guess we did talk about the things that happened in the credits. More importantly, the one major, incredibly important thing that happened in the
Our
credits.
big prediction
Yeah.
that came true. Baby Kane has been born.
Okay. Let me say that. Okay, I also want to mention, in my theater, when King popped up, there was a kid that said, "Baby King." But oh wait, no, that's King. It's like, oh my god,
Did someone actually say that?
yes, I heard Baby Kane in the distance. Like, okay, kid,
What
if
the
you're listening
hell?
to this StartCast, you might. I think you're a
What the
teenager or whatever. Listen, you might be too young for this StartCast. Also, I was in that New
Where
York theater
are
too.
you?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Okay.
but no, we do get the amazing digital sex scene actually happens.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
God.
it. I couldn't
five.
believe
Real girl, the way I screamed, I was like,
Everyone
absolutely not.
screamed.
Oh my god. I was so excited. I was
I
so
s-
excited.
like Brackett's like, oh, I'll bring this box over. Like, oh, what's going on, Tuple? And then you see
I
like
like
Genghis
how-
door open. It's like,
I like how this show is about relationships, but they very intentionally like don't play into like romance
Yeah.
tropes
Yeah.
too much.
Mhm.
But that was kind of like the one bit of like I guess catharsis on that front. That and probably what you can read into with the Gangle and Jack's stuff a little bit.
Sure.
Um
Uh-huh.
but no, I really like that was really like satisfying. Like people were clapping and cheering. That was one of the biggest
Yes.
positive reactions, I think.
I think it's like one of those things people kind of have like all their opinions on what character should end up with. I feel like if you didn't think like there was like romance between those two, you were kind of kidding yourself. I think even
You're
You're
wrong.
watching the show wrong.
I think even Gooseworks realized this. I think at some point she said, "Oh, there'll be no like ships confirmed by the end." I think maybe even she changed her behind her. She's like, you know what? Maybe they should. I think she wrote the sex line and was, you know what? Maybe Gangle and Zubul should be the ones having sex.
And
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah,
with her,
I
and I'm
agree.
glad she changed her
Mhm.
mind.
yeah,
also-
shake your hand, shake your hand. Also, your
Shake
outfit
every-
was amazing in the premiere. Gooseworks.
Oh yeah, friggin'
Well,
talking about the premiere. I'm friggin' jealous. The last guest we had on, Noah Raining Ketchup, actually got to go to that and order
Yeah.
a rummy goo. Couldn't believe
I
that.
wanted a rummy goo so bad. They ruined my ship, and I couldn't get a rummy goo. Fuck off.
Actually,
What's your ship?
no, I think it's so beautiful. This celebration of queer people with like a story about a trans woman that came out in Pride Month that ends with a non-binary character having sex with Gangle. I think that's beautiful. Happy
I'm so
Pride
happy
Month.
for her.
Yes,
Happy Pride
happy
Also,
Pride
yeah.
Month, everybody.
Also, don't forget, RL Gangle and Zubul do live in the same area.
In
This is
real
a
life,
good point.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna get together, but we're gonna hope
Yes.
for the best.
Yeah.
I want to talk about real fast.
Real fast.
My favorite
Come here.
part, my second favorite part of the movie was at the end where they had a silent slideshow of all the merch you could buy.
Right.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, with
like,
the
I felt like I was
Because,
like,
girl,
QR
the
code and
way
everything.
the theater was like, ooh, ah.
yeah, I felt like I was
I
at like an
thought-
investor showcase or something at
Yes!
that part. Like that
And
was kind of
girl,
bizarre.
there were
QR
some things
code.
where I was like, wait a minute. Unfortunately, I did make a purchase. You will be hearing from me soon. So
Yeah.
just
I
know
saw
that.
like the price for the items. Like, not today.
Mhm.
But also, I'm
There
like
were
they have
some.
like abstracted versions of like every character. It's like, okay, they didn't put out outfits this time. Here you go.
It was
Mhm.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
I'm so glad Is this the first? It's such a funny thing to ask before we end the show. Is Gangle and Zoople the first Glitch production characters to have sex?
Yes.
Um,
Hey, no.
Right?
Hopefully not the last.